So hello everyone. I would like to open up with Matthew 7:1. This is a King James version. Judge not that ye not be judged. Okay, and as with anything on this channel, I am presenting a topic that requires you to come in with an open mind, an open heart, and remember to take this message to the Lord to know that it is yours. Okay, don't just take everything that you hear for face value. Do your research, as I do with everything in this life. Okay, so today's topic is a bit controversial. Okay, and when I say a bit, I mean very controversial, because it's about tarot. And I would like to talk about how tarot is its own realm of intelligence and my transition into tarot, and how I discovered biblical evidence that tarot is not necessarily evil. All right, so as I mentioned a few times on this channel, I grew up Christian Baptist, okay? If you know anything about church, you know that Christian Baptists don't play, as like with most churches, but Christian Baptist is in its own realm, okay? So growing up, I was taught that tarot was of the devil, that's demonic, you're going straight to hell. And so when my curiosity was piqued by tarot, I was praying, I was crying, I was praying, and I was crying, and I was praying, and I was crying. I was like, God, why would you let me be tempted by something like this if it is not for me? And that is when I believe that God started talking to me, because I started to question, who told you that tarot was evil? Where did you find this in the Bible? Where did the source that told you that it was evil, where did they receive this information from? Or was it simply word of mouth? And that's when I had to stop, pause, and reflect and realize that anything that I had ever believed in life was because some other man told me so. And one thing about me, I'm not going to take any man's word for anything, because we are all imperfect man, meaning one person's interpretation is not the end all be all, which is again why you don't have to take this video for face value. It's just simply a different perspective. I am open to coexistence and omnism, that there is truth and validity in all belief systems, and they should all be respected. All right, so I just want to start off with that there. But in the midst of me praying and crying and praying and crying and praying and crying, I rediscovered this old family Bible that has been running through the family for generations. And I discovered my connection with God gave me this intuitive system of finding messages that God has for me. And so I simply sat there with the Bible closed, prayed to God, and I said, God, please show me the answer. I don't want answers from any other being but you. I want to know what you want me to do here, God. And so I opened up the Bible, and in this case, I opened up to Isaiah. And I am in Isaiah 8:11, and this entire page goes down to 8:22. So I first came across this page September 29th of 2020. I was asking for the Lord to keep me humble and to keep me honest, and for me to comprehend everything that He is exposing to me without fear, because I noticed that we are instilled with fear by individuals that teach us things in our day-to-day life. We have to remember that, again, information is literally passed down word of mouth. And so there's really no evidence or proof by what these people say unless you turn to the book yourself and interpret it yourself with a pure heart, an open heart, and a pure and open mind as well, okay? So when I first came to this page, it says, "Fear God. The Lord spoke to me with his strong hand upon me, warning me not to follow the way of his people." Ding, ding, ding. The bell went off in my brain and said, well, the people are telling me that I shouldn't be doing this thing. And so that's when I was like, okay, so maybe God is actually trying to weed out the false prophets, weed out the false interpretations, and let us know that just because one follower of God, of Christ, says that this is what it is, doesn't mean that that is necessarily what it is. So again, that is Isaiah 8:11. The Lord spoke to me with his strong hand upon me, warning me not to follow the way of this people. Okay? And it goes on to say, do not call conspiracy everything that these people call conspiracy. Do not fear what they fear, and do not dread it. The people that I know feared tarot cards. And I was like, but you're literally telling me right here, don't fear what they fear. So I was like, okay, I see where you're coming from. I'm still a little scared, okay? But I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you. I'm receiving the message. And with that, I said, okay, God, what I will do is I will pick up these cards. I will give it a try, and I'm going to pray my way through it. And I know you will let me know if it ain't for me. So I picked up the cards, and that is when I just jumped right in after some self-taught and some necessary steps that I felt allowed me to feel safe and protected spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally, all of that. I then stepped into the public eye with it, with a tarot channel. And I was like, you know what, God, I'm going to see where this goes, and that'll kind of guide my way. I kid you not, my channel blew up before I could even consider what I was doing. Okay, so I was like, okay, God, you ain't never came through this hard, this fast. All right, so I was like, okay, I'm paying attention, God, I'm paying attention. And I was sure to be mindful of like my spiritual awareness and my thoughts and just everything. Nothing had changed. When people talk about feeling like they were possessed or their sleep was interrupted by demons and all this, I didn't experience any of that. I sleep like a baby to this day. All praise the Most High. Okay. So then I came back to this page just a few weeks ago, which would have been in November of 2021. So that is about a year and 2 months later. I came back to this same page, and my eyes were drawn further down the page where it says, this is Isaiah 8:18. Here I am, and the children of the Lord has given me. Where are signs and symbols in Israel from the Lord Almighty who dwells on Mount Zion? Moving on to 8:19 of Isaiah. When men tell you to consult mediums and spiritists who whisper and mutter, should not a people inquire of their God? Why consult the dead on behalf of the living, to the law and to the testimony? If they do not speak according to this word, they have no light of dawn. Distressed and hungry, they will roam through the land. When they are famished, they will become enraged, and looking upward will curse their king and their God. Then they will look toward the earth and see only distress and darkness and fearful gloom, and they will be thrust into utter darkness. I want to go back to where it highlights, when men tell you to consult mediums and spiritists who whisper and mutter, they're referring to the dead. I do not go out of my way to be like, hey, yo, to the dead homies, what y'all got to tell me? No, that's not my intentions. And I believe that intention has everything to do with anything that you do. You can reach out in prayer to the dead. You don't need cards to pray to the dead, okay? So I feel like we need to subtract the medium and focus on the intention. Don't look at the way that someone chooses to talk to God, but look at the intention behind it. Where is the prayer going? Where is the intention placed? All right. So that right there, I was like, I don't go out of my way to speak to the dead. And when I say don't go out of my way, what I mean by that is, have I noticed that maybe someone's ancestor comes towards me? Absolutely. Because I know for a fact that there are positive, light, holy, and Christ-like beings that are ancestors as well too. That's why I believe that Christ, again, speaking of this book, having this light of dawn, makes me believe and have faith that Christ is guarding the metaphorical spiritual gate for me to be able to communicate with God in a way that I can remain safe, okay? And then it goes on to say, should not a people inquire of their God? Why consult the dead on behalf of the living? You can go to my tarot channel and I speak of God, I speak of Christ, and I tell them all the time to take the message to the Lord to know that it is yours. I am not here to sell you a dream. I am just here to confirm what you already know in your spirit. But we tend to doubt it if our eyes do not see what it is, okay? Looks can be deceiving, and I'm just here to confirm what your spirit, again, already knows from the Lord, because you get those sensations, you get those dreams, those feelings, those joyous moments for a reason. But life has a way of beating you down and making you believe that you're crazy for having that joy. And I want to be the reason why people get up and have motivation and have joy to say, you know what, look, I went to Tarot with Tay's channel and she confirmed what I already knew. There are people that have come to me already in this short journey of me having my channel for a year that have told me that I have turned them back to God, where they once lost faith, where they once stopped caring, they once stopped praying. I brought them back to the Lord. Do you know what that means to me? It means the whole world. So what the world has to say about me and what I'm doing means absolutely nothing to me. But going on, I want to highlight this part as well, where it says, if they do not speak according to this word, they have no light of dawn. Nowhere in this statement does it say that tarot cards are evil. No way does it say that mediums and spiritists are evil. It clearly states, if they do not speak according to this word, they have no light of dawn. Baby, I was birthed into this word, so that's all I know how to spit is this word. All right. So I just got a little, I get very passionate about this, because it's just really upsetting that people demonize something that I've quite literally been gifted to save lives through. Okay, so I think, again, we need to really focus on people's intention as opposed to judging the medium in which someone chooses to speak to God. All right. So now that we've got that out of the way, addressing biblical evidence that tarot is not evil, let's go ahead and address how I believe that tarot is its own realm of intelligence. Okay, let's go ahead and hop into this part too. In order to comprehend tarot, you truly have to use your brain. This is something that the majority of the world doesn't do. We naturally float around on autopilot like the Walking Dead, as I like to refer to it as. To be able to apply what a reader says in general terms and then be able to apply it to your specific experience is a true life skill. When I first heard about tarot and explored it, I thought it was baloney. Like, I thought it was complete BS. It seemed too general to be realistic, but that's because I lacked the awareness in my everyday life to place my specific experience into this generalized box. I hope you're keeping up with me here. Tarot is not for the narcissistic. If you cannot remove yourself from ego and thinking that you are the center of the world long enough to comprehend that we are all so connected that yes, one general statement can apply to millions of different scenarios, you simply will not understand. For example, a tarot reader can say, you probably struggle with relationships and connecting with people. And the basic mind would say, well, duh, anyone can have difficulty relating to people. But those with the awareness that it is required to comprehend tarot will reflect on exactly how they seem to struggle with connecting to others. As the kids are saying these days on TikTok, this is for those that get it, and those that don't, just don't. Okay, so again, I want to go back to what we started with, Matthew 7:1. Judge not that ye not be judged. If you are truly worried about someone and their soul being damned to hell, pray for them, genuinely. Do you know that one person's genuine prayer that is a follower of God and believes in Christ can save the unsalvageable soul, if you will? So if you truly care that much, do not judge them, just pray for them. Until next time, take care, be well. Bye.
Hey, yeah, made that money on a Monday.